accidentally unlocked the bragging system. Whenever someone around me starts bragging, whatever they're hyping up actually happens to me. At first, I thought I'd hit my head and gone crazy. That is, until yesterday on the subway. I heard some guy boasting about peeing 10 feet into the wind, and that night I literally blasted a hole straight through my toilet. It scared me so bad I didn't sleep a wink all night. Then, the next evening, I headed over to the Grand Hyatt for a class reunion. I've never really cared for these kinds of get-togethers. It's always just a bunch of people showing off and comparing themselves. And since graduation, I've basically become a total deadbeat. Going just meant stepping up to be the punchline for everyone's jokes. And sure enough, the second I set foot in the private room, someone started shouting, "Hey Lu, I heard you quit your job again. Man, can you guys believe it? The former top student of our class ended up doing so terribly." I could only force a bitter smile. I didn't even bother arguing. I just found an empty seat and sat down. Barely a second after I sat down, the guy next to me, Lin Xiao, gasped loudly. "Holy crap, Bitcoin is skyrocketing again today. It's at $70,000 a coin. Man, back when it was 30 grand, I bought the dip. I'm making an absolute killing right now." Hearing about crypto, the rest of the class instantly perked up. Everyone started buzzing with excitement. "Damn, Lin Xiao, look at you. How much did you actually buy back then?" Lin Xiao grinned from ear to ear. Not that much. Just 10 coins. I dropped around $300,000 on it. Roughly 2 million yuan, I guess. But sitting right next to him, I was frowning hard. Why? Because the system just notified me that Lin Xiao was full of crap. And because of his bragging, I had just been rewarded with 10,000 bitcoins. I quickly whipped out my phone to check. Sure enough, sitting right there in my Huobi account, was exactly 10,000 bitcoins. No freaking way, I gasped out loud, completely unable to contain myself. I mean, you have to understand converting those bitcoins at the current market rate. That was a solid 4.9 billion. My sudden shout clearly startled Lin Xiao, but his face immediately flushed red, and he doubled down. Of course it's real. Our old class president, Shen Zi, noticed me then. He put on this super patronizing, elder statesman act. "Lu, man, you've got skills. You just don't have any patience. Look at me. I got into Hujin International right out of college, and made marketing director in just 3 years. Couple days ago, I just closed on a massive 20 million yuan luxury condo at Thompson Riviera. Tell you what, if you're willing to actually put your head down and work hard, I'll put in a word with our HR manager and get you a job." This guy was acting like he wanted to help me out, but he was really just using me as a stepping stone to stroke his own ego. The best part? The bastard was totally bluffing. And just as expected, the moment the words left his mouth, the system notification popped up. Not only was I suddenly holding 80% of the shares in Hujin International, but I also scored an entire apartment building at Thompson Riviera for free. At that point, I couldn't sit still. How could I not be losing my mind? I was literally dead broke a second ago. Hearing my sudden gasp, the entire room went dead silent. Every single eye snapped straight toward me. The class trust fund kid, Ji Yu Chen, gave me a sideways glance and smirked. "My dad just bought me a Koenigsegg, and as it happens, I need a personal driver. Why don't you come drive for me? We can easily work out a decent salary." Hearing his whole speech, I just gave a wry smile and shook my head. The system's notification chime rang out again right on cue. It was obvious. This guy was just talking completely out of his ass. And just like that, out of thin air, my pocket suddenly had the keys to a Koenigsegg. Seeing my reaction, Ji Yu Chen immediately let out a cold scoff. "Lu, if it weren't for the fact that we're classmates, do you really think a sweet gig like this would ever fall into your lap?" He didn't hold back at all. The atmosphere in the private room instantly turned dead and awkward. I originally wanted to call out their BS right then and there, but then I thought, wouldn't it just be cutting off my own money tree? So, I kept playing dumb and just threw out a random excuse. "I'll probably have to head back to my hometown for a bit, so I can't really be your driver." I appreciate the thought, though. Hearing my excuse, the tense vibe in the room finally started to ease up a bit. Right then, Cheng Hao, sitting to my left, flashed a huge grin and said with obvious excitement, "Let's drop all that. Everyone, eat up, stuff yourselves. Drinks and food are on me today. My uncle is the manager here at the Grand Hyatt. He can get me a 50% discount." The moment the words left his mouth, the system chime rang in my head once again. "Congratulations, host. You have acquired 100% of the shares in the Grand Hyatt International Hotel." At this point, I didn't even flinch. Before 10 minutes had even passed, I ended up getting full ownership of the Red Romance Club. And some crazy, unbelievable bedroom stamina. I honestly never dreamed that in the time it takes to eat a single meal, my net worth would shoot up enough to rival the Forbes list. When the dinner wrapped up, Cheng Hao called the waiter over for the bill. But the waiter had absolutely no clue who this manager Meng Jianfeng guy was. Seeing the kid about to throw a tantrum right there in the hotel, I stepped up. "I'll take care of it." As I spoke, I casually pulled a black card out of my pocket and handed it to the waiter handling the bill. The second the waiter saw the card, his face instantly turned dead serious and deeply respectful. Barely a moment later, he brought over a foreigner dressed in a sharp suit. The moment the foreigner saw me, his face lit up with an overly flattering, fawning smile. "Boss, you graced us with your presence. Why didn't you let us know in advance?" "I'm just catching up with some old classmates. Why would I need to notify you?" "Alright, go on and get back to work." My tone was totally casual. In just a couple of sentences, I shooed away the manager, whose name was Henry. But the rest of the people in the private room completely lost their minds. They were all just sitting there, staring at me like total idiots. Pure disbelief written all over their faces. Dude, did I drink too much? Am I hallucinating right now? Liu Yu is actually the boss of the Grand Hyatt? People were whispering among themselves left and right, even though they kept it quiet. I could hear every single word loud and clear. Man, I have to say, the rush of flexing like this was absolutely incredible. In a flash, every single person's attitude toward me did a complete 180-degree turn. All the guys who were throwing shade and mocking me earlier were now crowding around me. Calling out Bro Lu this, Bro Lu that, acting like we were blood brothers. I'm telling you, Bro Lu. Turns out you're the real hidden boss of our class. Man, if you own the Grand Hyatt, why were you even looking for a job? Bro Lu, you're a freaking legend. Didn't I say it from the start? Out of everyone in our class, Liu Yu always had that billionaire vibe. People are so fickle, the world really just runs on money and status. I smirked, slightly a knowing smile playing on my lips. Just then, someone turned to Shu Yang and called out, "Hey, Bro Yang. Did you get everything sorted at the Red Romance Club? There's like, over a dozen of us here. We definitely need a massive private room." Hearing this, a layer of cold sweat instantly broke out on Shu Yang's forehead. Like hell he had the pull to book a massive VIP room. He was just talking big earlier. Who would have thought these guys would actually take him seriously? I let out another faint smile, and stepped up to the plate once more. "Tell you what, I'll take care of the after party." With that said, I pulled out my phone and dialed the manager of Red Romance directly. "Hey, I'm bringing some classmates over for karaoke in a bit. Hook us up with a large private room. Room 888, right?" "Yeah, that works." "Got it." Hanging up the phone, my lips curled into a slight grin as I turned to the crowd. "All sorted, let's just head straight over. It's the Diamond VIP room. Room number 888. As soon as those words left my mouth, the whole crowd was stunned into silence once again. Holy crap, Bro Lu, you're an absolute legend. The Diamond VIP room at Red Romance? I've heard my boss talk about that place. That's a minimum spend of $100,000. Don't worry, I've got it all covered. Honestly, I was in a fantastic mood right now, so I simply took it all upon myself. After walking out of the Grand Hyatt Hotel, Ji Yu Chen's face had been looking pretty dark. After all, he was used to being the center of attention. But now, I had completely stolen his thunder. He's definitely just bluffing. Can't wait to see how he talks his way out of this later. Just as Ji Yu Chen was thinking this, his eyes suddenly lit up. He spotted a wicked-looking, matte black hypercar parked right at the hotel entrance. Holy shit, is that a Koenigsegg? No freaking way. The guys in the class immediately lost their minds. After all, what guy could resist the raw appeal of a hypercar? As for the girls, they just looked completely confused by all the hype. Hearing a few girls ask what the big deal was, a CarNet guy immediately started excitedly explaining. "It's a Koenigsegg, a top-tier hypercar worth like 10 to 20 million bucks. Wait, holy crap, didn't Bro Chen just say his dad just bought him a Koenigsegg? Hey, Chen, don't tell me this sick ride is actually yours?" Hearing the guy say that, every single pair of eyes instantly locked onto Ji Yu Chen. Back at the dinner table, Ji Yu Chen had indeed been bragging about how his dad bought him a Koenigsegg, but right now, he was just as dumbfounded as the rest of them. That was purely him talking out of his ass to show off. Even though his family had a net worth of a few $100 million, there was no way in hell his old man would drop that kind of cash on a car for him. Besides, even if his dad actually wanted to fork over the money, he could never get his hands on a hypercar like this. There are literally only 6 of these in the entire world. Ji Yu Chen laughed awkwardly. "Ah, no, this one isn't mine. I just placed the order for mine. Haven't even picked it up yet." He knew that if he didn't clear this up fast, he'd be utterly humiliated today. But deep down, he was dying to know just whose ride was this insane hypercar anyway. Ji Yu Chen snapped out of it, walking over to me to smooth over the awkwardness. "Liu Yu, didn't you take the bus here? Why don't you just ride with me?" I smiled and shook my head. "No thanks. I just had someone bring my car over. I'll drive myself." Ji Yu Chen let out a cold, sarcastic laugh at that. Still thinking I was bluffing, he pointed at a cheap minivan parked nearby and mocked. "Where's your car? Don't tell me it's that busted minivan over there." But a second later, he froze dead in his tracks. I casually pointed at the multi-million-dollar Koenigsegg. "That one right there. Just picked it up a couple days ago. Not bad, right?" Those words dropped like a bombshell, exploding in everyone's heads. Ji Chen especially, he looked like his brain had just short-circuited. He thought I was blowing smoke when I said I bought a Koenigsegg. After all, even a standard model costs tens of millions. But the absolute beast sitting right in front of us was limited to only 6 in the world. You couldn't buy this thing even if you were filthy rich. Ji Chen stood next to me, sizing me up and down all over again. Still trying to bluff at a time like this? Give it a rest. I didn't waste my breath. I just firmly pressed the unlock button on my key fob. Koenigsegg's headlights flashed twice, instantly shattering every last bit of Ji Chen's doubt. As I strolled up to the Koenigsegg and smoothly pulled open the door, everyone collectively swallowed hard. Woso Liu Yu is actually the biggest boss in our class. He hid it so well. Oh my god. That Koenigsegg actually belongs to Liu Yu. Hey, Chen. Is the supercar your dad bought you the same exact model? Ji Chen's face twitched violently at the question. My dad bought me a BMW and it can't compare to Liu Yu's. Not even close. In a split second, every girl in the class swarmed over. Who wouldn't want to ride shotgun in a top-tier hypercar? Su Wan, however, was as bold as ever. Flashing a confident smile, she walked straight to the passenger side. But right as she reached for the door handle, I waved at Wen Jiji, who had been sitting quietly through the whole dinner. Wen Jiji, come sit up front. Wen Jiji was one of the few girls in our class who never cared about showing off. She'd been super quiet during the meal, but I'd known since college. She was actually the heiress to the multi-billion-dollar Wen Group. And I was the only one in the whole class who knew her secret. Su Wan froze on the spot, her hand hovering awkwardly over the car door. My words made her face turn beet red with absolute humiliation. She was used to being treated like a goddess by everyone. She thought no man would ever reject her. But not only did I reject her, I didn't even glance her way. Wen Jiji usually kept a super low profile. She seemed plain, but the truth was, no one had ever really paid enough attention to her. I'd caught a good look at her once before. Honestly, in terms of pure looks, she completely blew Su Wan out of the water. Wen Jiji completely ignored the humiliated Su Wan. She just pulled the passenger door open and slipped right in. I stomped on the gas, the engine roaring to life as I pulled up right in front of the class. Alright then, catch you guys at the Red Romance Club later. Right then, Wen Jiji brushed a strand of beautiful hair from her forehead, turning to look at me intently. You kept that pretty well hidden, Mr. Liu. Could say the same about you, Miss Wen. So, Liu, which elite family's young master are you? If I said I was just an ordinary guy, would you believe me? You know my real identity, don't you? The Wen Group. The moment those words left my mouth, Wen Jiji instantly understood. The car fell completely silent. It wasn't long before we arrived at the Red Romance Club. Soon enough, Ji Chen and the others started showing up one by one. I parked the car, and Wen Jiji and I waited by the club entrance for everyone to gather. A group of guys strolled over from a distance. The one leading the pack was Xiao Jingyan. He was out partying with a bunch of rich kid lackeys, and his eyes locked onto Wen Jiji in the crowd the second he saw her. Even though she kept a low profile, her icy, aloof aura was impossible to hide. As the heir to Shanghai's Xiao Group, Xiao Jingxing had incredibly high standards. The number of gorgeous women who could actually catch his eye could be counted on one hand. Hey, gorgeous, I'm Xiao Jingxing. My brothers and I just happen to be hanging out here too. We booked a VIP suite. Why don't you come party with us? I'll take you for a spin in my Rolls Royce later. Xiao Jingyan walked straight up to Wen Jiji. His arrogant, unsolicited flirting made all our classmates look pretty uncomfortable. The Xiao Group built its fortune on cars. They were the absolute kings of the auto industry in Shanghai. Even a rich kid like Ji Chen, with a net worth over 100 million, was absolutely nothing compared to Xiao Jingyan. I'll pass, Wen Jiji said, her face instantly turning ice cold. She took a step back without a second thought. The lackeys behind Xiao Jingyan immediately started jeering. Am I seeing things? Did Yan actually just get rejected to his face? Xing has been with countless women. I can't believe someone is actually brushing him off. Now that's a first. I've never seen Xing fail to pick up a girl before. Ha ha ha, among that entire crowd of rich kids, only the few who shared a similar status to Xiao Jingxing dared to openly joke around like that. Xiao Jingxing clearly felt humiliated. Trying desperately to save face, he forced a smirk. Please, I'm Xiao Jingyan. I've seen it all. Look, babe, I am the eldest young master of the Xiao Group. As long as you're with me, you can get my hands on absolutely any car you want. Ding, detected Xiao Jingyan acting arrogant in front of you, rewarding you with 100% equity in Fenyu Auto, and granting you maximum charm stats. Maximum charm stats? And Fenyu Auto? If the Xiao Group was the king of Shanghai, then Fenyu Auto was the absolute number one in the entire country. It was worth at least 50 billion. This system reward was insanely overpowered. Meanwhile, after hearing Xiao Jingyan bragging, Ji Chen and the rest of our classmates just exchanged awkward glances. You think driving a Rolls Royce makes you a big shot? Our classmate is out here driving a car that money literally cannot buy. A Koenigsegg. For a moment, Ji Chen and the group fell totally silent. Every single one of them was thinking the exact same thing. This hotshot heir to the Xiao group was nowhere near as impressive as their own classmate. Absolutely any car? Wen Jiji looked at Xiao Jingxing with a deeply weirded out expression. But out of the corner of her eye, she couldn't help but glance at me. My charm stats were completely maxed out now. Any woman who even looked at me would instantly be captivated. Wen Jiji had only accidentally caught a glimpse of me, and her cheeks immediately flushed bright red. Almost subconsciously, she shot back at Xiao Jingxing. I want a Koenigsegg 1-to-1. Can you actually get your hands on that? A Koenigsegg 1-to-1? The crowd of rich kids completely lost their minds. Do you really think a Koenigsegg 1-to-1 is something you can just buy whenever you want? You stupid bitch, are you trying to mess with our brother Xing? The Xiao group might have tens of billions in assets, but it's true that a Koenigsegg isn't something you can just buy with money. As the eldest son of an automotive empire, Xiao Jingyan actually got totally humiliated over a car by some woman. He was burning with rage. No one had ever dared to humiliate him like this. She was the first and she'd be the damn last. You're really asking for it. Boys, teach them a damn good lesson. With a single order from Xiao Jingxing, that gang of rich kids immediately started shouting and surrounded us. Seeing the tension hit a breaking point, Ji Yuchen desperately wanted to play peacemaker but had no idea what to do. I just lazily took 2 steps forward and planted myself directly in front of Xiao Jingyan. I strongly suggest that you don't lay a finger on my classmate. Me stepping up like this instantly gave a bunch of the girls hard eyes, leaving them totally swooning over me. Xiao Jingxing gritted his teeth and snarled, and what if I do touch her? You think you actually have the guts to hit me? What Xiao Jingyan and the entire Xiao group behind him represented was crystal clear to everyone in the room. Ji Yuchen and the others knew exactly what would happen if we took them head on. So not a single one of them dared to make a move. I, however, just let a smirk creep onto my face. I let out a totally dismissive scoff, and said with a light laugh, if you have the guts to make a move, I have the guts to knock you out. Xiao Jingyan actually burst out laughing from sheer rage. Oh, wow. In all my years as young Master Xiao, I have never seen a punk quite as arrogant as you. Then open your damn eyes and watch, see if I have the guts to hit her. Totally provoked, Xiao Jingyan instantly threw a punch at me, but before his fist even came close, my fist had already beat him to the punch, slamming brutally right into his face. It completely knocked him senseless. Xiao Jingyan stumbled backward a couple of steps, clutching his face, his eyes screaming with absolute disbelief. And it wasn't just him. Even the whole gang of rich frat boy lackeys behind him were standing there completely dumbfounded. This kid, he actually had the balls to lay hands on young Master Xiao. When Ji Yuchen and the others saw what just went down, their hearts basically dropped into their stomachs. We are so dead, they thought. It was just supposed to be a class reunion. Were they seriously going to lose their lives over this tonight? Lu Yu, why the hell are you being so impulsive? Hurry up and apologize to young Master Xiao. Ji Yuchen frantically jumped out, desperately trying to salvage the situation. His family's company was worth about $1 billion at absolute best. How on earth could they compete with a top-tier rich kid like Xiao Jingyan? The guy could crush him easier than squashing a bug. Ji Yuchen felt like Lu Yu was literally going to get him killed. Xiao Jingyan, having just taken a punch to the face, was totally ready to explode. But the second he heard Ji Yuchen begging me to apologize, his rage actually died down a bit. He shot me this incredibly smug look, his eyes dripping with absolute, condescending superiority. You see that? Now that is the attitude you should have when dealing with me. You need to learn from your classmate. Get on your damn knees and bow to me 3 times. Then call me young Master Xiao and say you're sorry, and I just might let tonight's little stunt slide. Let it slide? Yeah right, only a total idiot would believe that. I knew Xiao Jingyan might be playing it cool on the surface, but deep down, he absolutely wanted me dead. After all, the person with the guts to hit him supposedly hadn't even been born yet. Ji Yuchen's face was turning completely pale, but he didn't dare say a single word back. He could only force a smile and plead with me, Lu Yu. How about you just apologize to young Master Xiao? I shot Ji Yuchen an icy glare. Apologize? You mean the kind where I drop to my knees and grovel? And what if I refuse? Hearing this, Xiao Jingyan turned pale with absolute rage. He looked like he had just been slapped across the face a dozen times in public. His pride was completely shattered. You're not gonna apologize, huh? Fine, I'll call Boss Sang Biao's men over right now. You still care about your damn pride, Lu Yu? I'll show you that in the face of absolute power. Your pride ain't worth shit. Hearing Xiao Jingyan's threat, Ji Yuchen broke into a cold sweat, absolutely terrified. Lu Yu, just apologize to young Master Xiao, please. Sang Biao is a massive deal here in the city. You can't afford to mess with him. The guy is literally the godfather of the underworld. He runs both the light and the dark. His power is off the charts. Anyone who dares to cross him ends up dead or worse. System notification. It has been detected that Xiao Jingyan is completely bluffing. The city's underground godfather, Sang Biao, has now been granted to the host as your loyal subordinate. I chuckled to myself. So Xiao Jingyan was just full of hot air after all. But even if the real Sang Biao showed up, he'd still have to bow down and call me boss. I smirked, then let him call Sang Biao. I'd actually love to meet this so-called godfather myself. Xiao Jingyan was so furious he nearly shattered his teeth. You just wait, I'm calling my guys right now. Seething with rage, Xiao Jingyan dialed a number. The guy on the other end was just a lackey of one of Sang Biao's lackeys. His name was Wu Bing. To everyone else, the Xiao group might have seemed like an untouchable corporate giant. But to someone like Sang Biao, they were basically nobodies. With Xiao Jingyan's current status, he was only worthy of rubbing shoulders with a low-level thug like Wu Bing. Brother Bing, I'm at the Red Romance Lounge. Get over here with a dozen guys, now. Some punk just hit me. And make sure you bring your weapons. Hearing that Xiao Jingyan had been roughed up, Wu Bing eagerly agreed without a second thought. After all, Xiao Jingyan paid well, and it wasn't like he was dealing with anyone important. Using Sang Biao's name as a shield meant he could crack skulls with zero consequences. Wu Bing had made a killing running this exact scam. Lu Yu just apologize already. Yeah, Lu Yu, is it really that hard to just drop to your knees and grovel? Just pretend you're visiting a graveyard early. Normal people like us can't mess with the Xiao group. Seriously, Lu Yu, you need to apologize right now. Hearing that an armed gang was on the way, the classmates were completely paralyzed with fear. Even Wen Jiji started to panic, debating whether she should call her own family to squash the whole thing. I let out a cold laugh. Apologize? Like hell, he deserves one. You want to call him back up? I can do that too. I reached into my pocket and pulled out my phone. Finding Sang Biao's number, I hit dial. Xiao Jingyan and his cronies just stared at me, dumbfounded. They had never seen anyone with this kind of death wish. Here in this city, no one in their right mind would dare disrespect Sang Biao. But as luck would have it, Sang Biao was actually at the Red Romance Lounge today, right in the middle of a high-stakes business deal. Suddenly, his private phone, the one he always kept on him, started ringing. Sang Biao's bodyguard saw the caller ID flash, Big Boss, and frantically handed the phone over. Asking cautiously, Brother Biao, do you want me to put it on mute? Sang Biao just glanced at his phone screen, and his face instantly drained of color. He answered the call without a second thought. He immediately switched to a highly respectful tone. Boss, what do I owe the pleasure of your call today? As soon as he said that, the billionaire CEOs discussing business in the private room were absolutely stunned. What, boss? Sang Biao actually has a boss above him? Did they just overhear some top-secret underworld intel? Were they going to be silenced? Those multi-billionaires started shivering in fear, but Sang Biao didn't even bother to spare them a glance. Holding my phone, I glanced at Xiao Jingyan next to me, and spoke calmly. Nothing major, just some guy named Xiao Jingyan claiming he runs with you. He's calling his boys right now to teach me a lesson at the Red Romance Club. Just wanted to ask if you knew him. Sang Biao instantly exploded with rage. Which blind son of a bitch dared to use his name to mess with his boss? Who the hell did Xiao Jingyan think he was? Like he was even worthy of being his lackey. The billionaire CEOs nearby heard everything clearly. One of them spoke up, his voice trembling. Brother Biao, that Xiao Jingyan your boss mentioned. I think he's the heir to the Xiao group. Sang Biao let out a cold scoff. Xiao Jingyan? The Xiao group? You guys go tell the old man of the Xiao family right now his son messed with the wrong fucking person. Tell him to pack his shit and get out of Shanghai immediately. With just one sentence, he was banishing the entire Xiao group. After saying that, Sang Biao stormed out of the private room. The billionaires exchanged a look, and hurried after him. They wanted to see with their own eyes who could possibly be Sang Biao's boss. Xiao Jingyan looked visibly taken aback when he saw me hang up. Judging by my tone, the guy on the other end was Sang Biao? Impossible. This punk was definitely bluffing. He forced a confident sneer. When Brother Biao and I were throwing back drinks at Global International, you were still playing in the dirt. You dare bluff in front of me? Just wait until my guys get here. I'll make you crawl out of here on your knees. System alert. Detected that Xiao Jingyan is bragging to you, rewarding you with 100% equity in Global International. Bragging again. Right as he finished speaking, 5 vans screeched to a halt outside the Red Romance Club. The doors slid open, and Wu Bing charged out, leading over a dozen thugs armed with weapons. He scanned the room with a vicious glare. Who the fuck hit my brother? Get your ass out here. Wu Bing marched aggressively over to Ji Yu Chen and growled in his face. Was it you who hit my boy? Being pointed at like that, Ji Yu Chen was absolutely terrified out of his mind. He waved his hands frantically. No. It wasn't me. It was him. He did it. Just like that, Ji Yu Chen completely threw me under the bus. I glared at him coldly, knowing he was in the wrong. He put on a pathetic face and pleaded, Lu Yu, you can't blame me for this. My family's money isn't even enough to act as a toothpick for the Xiao family. Didn't you say you knew Sang Biao? Hurry up and call him here. Hearing Ji Yu Chen say this, Wu Bing actually froze, and his heart started pounding with anxiety. What if this kid actually did know Sang Biao? That was his own boss's boss. Xiao Jingyan noticed Wu Bing hesitating and quickly spoke up. Brother Bing, don't listen to him. This broke loser's whole outfit adds up to less than $1,000. He was just bragging about owning a Koenigsegg. Look at him, does he even look the part? As the heir to the Xiao group, Xiao Jingyan knew luxury cars like the back of his hand. Hearing this, Wu Bing was pretty much convinced. Ji Yu Chen opened his mouth to say something, but thinking about the powerful Xiao group backing Xiao Jingyan, he knew better and kept his mouth shut. Wu Bing waved his hand. Instantly, his dozen or so thugs rushed forward and smashed Ji Yu Chen's BMW to pieces. Ji Yu Chen watched his beloved car turn into scrap metal. His heart bled, but he didn't dare utter a single word, terrified that he would be the next thing they smashed. Seeing this, Wu Bing was just about to order his men to attack me, but this exact moment was witnessed by someone rushing down from upstairs. Sang Biao, who saw everything. Stop right there. Sang Biao's furious roar terrified several guys so badly their legs gave out, collapsing to the ground. Even Wu Bing couldn't help but shiver. He whipped his head around, and the moment he saw who it was, he immediately stuttered, "Be brother Biao. What are you doing here?" Sang Biao's eyes were as cold as ice. "What am I doing here? If I hadn't come, were you going to lay a hand on my boss? Who the hell do you think you are?" Seething with rage, Sang Biao stormed up to Wu Bing and viciously kicked him. He's actually Sang Biao's boss? You've gotta be kidding me. The rich kids standing behind Xiao Jingyan were absolutely paralyzed with fear. The multi-billionaire CEOs who had followed Sang Biao downstairs watched the scene unfold, their jaws practically hitting the floor in shock. Wu Bing endured the agonizing pain and scrambled to his feet, instantly throwing Xiao Jingyan under the bus. "Boss, it has nothing to do with me. It was all Xiao Jingyan's doing." Sang Biao glared at Xiao Jingyan with icy daggers. He sneered, "My boss told me that you were parading around claiming to be my underling, and even called Wu Bing to corner him?" Xiao Jingyan was tongue-tied. He desperately wanted to make excuses, but couldn't squeeze out a single word. Just then, Wen Jiji stepped forward, her voice freezing cold. He didn't just call Wu Bing over. He also demanded that Lu Yu get on his knees, kowtow to apologize, and crawl out of Red Romance. Wen Jiji's words sent Sang Biao over the edge. How dare a piece of trash like this try to bully his boss? His face darkened as he closed in on Xiao Jingyan. Terrified by the sheer murderous intent, Xiao Jingyan's legs gave out. He dropped to his knees, immediately throwing himself at Wen Jiji's feet, kowtowing and begging for mercy. "I was wrong, sister-in-law. I shouldn't have had so much to drink and harassed you. I deserve to die. Please beg brother Lu Yu to spare me." I casually raised a hand and said to Sang Biao, "Little Biao, you handle the rest of this." Sang Biao instantly nodded and bowed respectfully. "You got it, boss. I won't bother you and sister-in-law any longer. When you have some free time, bring her over to my villa to hang out." Under his gaze, Wen Jiji's face flushed beet red. She knew Sang Biao had totally misunderstood the situation, but there was absolutely no way to explain it now. As soon as Sang Biao left, the suffocating tension in the room vanished into thin air. The way my classmates looked at me had completely shifted from shock to absolute awe. Who could have possibly imagined that I was actually the boss of the underground godfather, Sang Biao? I glanced around the room. Weren't we supposed to be singing and partying? What are you all staring at me for? Song Yang had just come downstairs when he happened to catch Sang Biao teaching Xiao Jingyan a lesson. Normally, he wouldn't care about such petty squabbles, but the moment he heard those billionaire big shots mention the name Lu Yu, he stopped dead in his tracks. Song Yang walked straight over to them. "What was the name of the guy you were just talking about?" Chairman Wu answered with utmost respect. "Lu Yu, Boss Biao's big brother." Hearing Chairman Wu's explanation, Song Yang instantly knew what was going on, and his sudden appearance immediately drew everyone's attention. Feeling Song Yang's overwhelming aura, Su Wan quickly whispered to Ji Yu Chen, "Young Master Ji Yu, who is that guy? He looks super intimidating." Ji Yu Chen looked in the direction she was pointing, and his face instantly went pale. "That's Song Yang, the general manager of Red Romance. But don't let the manager title fool you. Even Wu Bing has to show him respect. I definitely can't afford to get on his bad side." While Ji Yu Chen was filling everyone in, he kept stealing nervous glances at me. Ever since my connection to Sang Biao was exposed, my classmates had developed this instinctive fear of me. "Young Master Ji Yu, Manager Song as he's walking toward us." One of our classmates stammered out nervously. Ji Yu Chen let out a bitter laugh. "Be confident, drop the he's walking part. He is straight up coming for us. What do? We literally just got rid of Sang Biao, and now here comes Song Yang. Man, today has been more of a wild ride than a freaking roller coaster." "Boss." Song Yang's single word left Su Wan and the others absolutely petrified. Lu Yu was actually the boss of Red Romance? Everyone instinctively turned to look at Shu Yang. "Isn't your cousin a manager here? How the hell did you not know that Lu Yu is the big boss?" Shu Yang shook his head in absolute bewilderment. His cousin was nothing but a low-level logistics supervisor. Forget about the big boss. He had barely even seen any of the upper management. I replied completely unfazed, "It's just a class reunion. Brought them over to hang out for a bit. Is the private room ready?" Song Yang immediately replied, "All set, sir." the VIP Supreme Suite, 888. From now on, it will be your exclusive private suite. It is permanently closed to the public. Please rest assured, boss. Oh my god, that's the VIP Supreme Suite. The minimum spend is 100,000. And it's his exclusive room? That is insane. I just nodded. Lead the way. But just as we were about to leave, a group of middle-aged men in sharp suits swarmed us from the front. Every single one of them had a deeply respectful look on their face. Business cards already drawn in their hands. These guys oozed authority. You could tell at a glance they were highly successful businessmen who were used to being at the very top. Song Yang stepped forward to introduce them. Boss, this is Chairman Wu, Chairman Zhao, Chairman Tan, and Chairman Li. They're all billionaire tycoons. Boss Biao was supposed to host them tonight, but given what happened with your situation, that gathering is probably cancelled. Song Yang saw right through their intentions in an instant. Even though he kept his voice low, Su Wan and the others heard every single word loud and clear. Watching actual billionaires literally lining up to hand their business cards to an old classmate, the whole scene felt absolutely surreal. Several of the bosses took turns handing over their business cards. Su Wan and the rest just looked at each other, exchanging confused glances. They were completely dumbfounded. I just gave a subtle look, and Song Yang immediately caught on, stepping up to take the cards. The other three bosses knew their place and quickly handed theirs over too, skipping the self-introductions altogether. While speaking, Wu Hai pulled out 2 black gold cards and handed them to me. These were extremely rare, with less than 20 issued in the entire country. Wang Feng Black Gold Supreme card. Just to get on my good side. Wu Hai actually gave me 2 of them at once. I just gave a casual, After taking the cards, Song Yang smiled and spoke up. Boss Wu, you don't just run a massive business. You're quite famous in the scene too. I heard you've got a buddy who runs a nationwide chain of wine estates. Supposedly, 80% of the country's red wine comes from them. Is that true? As soon as Song Yang said that, Boss Wu froze on the spot. He didn't have any friend running a wine estate. That was just some massive lie his wife had bragged about. Why yeah, I do have a friend like that. Boss Wu bit the bullet and played along. It just so happens I have a bottle of Romanée Conti right here. Just a small token of my appreciation, Mr. Liu. Please, enjoy it. Ding, detected that Wu Hai is bragging to you. System rewards you with the nationwide wine estate chain, Prajna. Prajna is the real deal when it comes to national wine chains. It supplies 90% of the red wine in the country. Even though its market value is only 10 billion, it is absolutely the undisputed king of the wine industry. Well, since it's Boss Wu's kind gesture, it would be rude of me to refuse. As it happens, I own a winery myself. I'll have someone send a few good bottles over to Boss Wu later to try. I knew perfectly well he was full of crap, but I didn't expose him. This Wu Hai was a smart guy who knew how to play the game. Since that was the case, I figured I might as well go with the flow and do him a favor. Boss Wu respectfully watched me walk away. His heart was practically beating out of his chest. Because whether I knew the truth or not, he now had to bite the bullet and back up his massive lie. After excusing himself from the others, Boss Wu immediately whipped out his phone and called his wife. Quick, that bottle of Romanée Conti we have at home. You need to bring it to the Red Romance Club right now. On the other end of the line, his wife absolutely exploded. Wu, are you out of your damn mind? I went through hell to get my hands on that bottle. I haven't even had the chance to show it off to the girls yet. Don't even think about it. No way. Well, you'd better turn that no into a yes, right now. I just met Crazy Biao's boss. If it weren't for you running your mouth and bragging to everyone, would I be forced to give this wine away to save my own skin? Just bring it here now, or else we're getting a divorce. Boss Wu was so furious his lungs were about to explode. If it wasn't for that vain woman, why on earth would he have to give away his prized possession just to cover up her lies? It didn't take long. That bottle of Romanée Conti was rushed over at top speed. Clutching the wine, Boss Wu followed Song Yang's lead, and nervously knocked on the door of the Supreme Room, 888. Inside the massive VIP room, over a dozen of my classmates were sitting up stiffly, knowing that the big shot Boss Wu was coming. Nobody dared to let loose. The atmosphere in the room was incredibly tense and awkward. Boss Wu carefully broke the silence. Mr. Liu, here is the Romanée Conti. Please, try a glass and see if it's to your liking. Boss Wu personally decanted and poured the wine himself. A dignified billionaire bowing and scraping like a lowly servant. How should I describe this feeling? Honestly, it felt pretty damn good. Su Wan kept her eyes glued to Boss Wu's every move. She was completely mesmerized. The taste isn't bad. I took a sip. My people have already delivered the wine to your villa. Keep an ear out for the call in a bit. In the future, when it comes to wine, head straight to my estate. Wu Dai frantically nodded in agreement. He didn't dare say yes, but he certainly didn't dare say no, either. Just then, Wu Dai's phone rang. Looking at the caller ID, his heart started pounding. Could they have arrived already? As he stood there stuttering, I calmly told him to answer it. Honey, Bonruo Estate just delivered over 10 bottles of their vintage red wine. They said it's a gift from their boss. Oh my god, That place produces 90% of the country's red wine. It's Bonruo Estate. His wife was so loud that everyone in the private room heard every single word. What? Bonruo Estate belongs to Lu Yu too? Oh my god, that's the absolute holy land of red wine in this country. Lu Yu, since it's our class reunion today, how about opening a bottle of Lafite to get the party started? Boss Lu, please, let's pop a Lafite. That is so badass. That's insane. Lu Yu, you're the real big shot here. Only then did Wu Dai realize that I was classmates with these people. And that we were actually at a class reunion. He instantly got an idea. Mr. Lu, I have a small villa out in the eastern suburbs. It's perfect for a party. Would you like to take your classmates over there to have some fun? Those words made Su Wan and the other's eyes light up instantly. A villa in the eastern suburbs costs at least 30 million. With Wu Dai's net worth, that place had to be worth 50 million, easy. Maybe even over 100 million. Lu Yu, I've never been to a luxury villa before. Please, just say yes. Yeah, who cares about karaoke? I'd be totally happy just getting to see a real villa. I want to see what those eastern suburbs mansions look like too. Just say yes, Lu Yu. Seeing the rest of the class making such a fuss, Wen Jiji and Ji Yu Chen couldn't help but look at me too. I appreciate the kind offer, Wu Dai. But we'll pass on the villa. When I make friends, I don't do it just for their fancy houses. Wu Dai gratefully thanked me and tactfully slipped out of the private room. Su Wan suddenly whipped her head around to look at Shen Zi. Shen Zi, don't you have one of those $20 million luxury penthouses at Thompson Riviera? How about taking us there to expand our horizons? Oh, yeah? Su Wan's words instantly reminded Cheng Hao and the others. Shen Zi looked incredibly awkward. My place hasn't been officially handed over yet, so it's not ready for visitors right now. Since Shen Zi's place was out of the question, Cheng Hao and the group looked completely deflated. But Su Wan wasn't ready to give up. She turned her hopeful gaze to Ji Yu Chen. Young Master Ji Yu, your family is loaded. You must have a villa you can show us, right? Ji Yu Chen quickly found an excuse to politely decline. My family is hosting a VIP guest right now, so it's really not convenient. Oh, wait, Lu Yu, do you have a place at Thompson Riviera? Ji Yu Chen's question instantly reignited Cheng Hao and the group's hopes. Yeah, Lu Yu is a massive boss now. He definitely has a place at Thompson Riviera, right? I do actually have an apartment at Thompson Riviera, but it's not that big. It's fine for a quick tour, but don't even think about staying the night. I've booked us a Grand Hyatt International Hotel for today. Drinks and everything else are all on me. The moment the words left my mouth, the whole private room exploded with excitement. You're the man, Lu Yu. A true boss. So generous. Are you a billionaire in disguise or what? Booking out the Grand Hyatt just like that. Boss, are you hiring? Get out of here, Cheng Hao. Boss Lu, pick me instead. Ji Yu Chen, who had been waiting to see me make a fool of myself, completely froze. He never imagined that I actually really owned a place at Thompson Riviera. But then, a smug smirk crept back onto his face. So what if you have one? Didn't you say it wasn't that big? As expected of the boss of Prajna. You even managed to score a place at Thompson Riviera, something even I couldn't do. It's only a bit past 8. How about you take us for a little tour later? Sure, I'll show you guys around a bit later. I saw right through Ji Yu Chen's dirty little scheme, but I honestly couldn't care less. I needed to go check out the Thompson Riviera property anyway. Clearly, he couldn't wait to see me make a fool of myself. But right before we headed to the mansion, Su Wan suddenly handed me a microphone. Lu Yu, sing a song for us. The whole room instantly started cheering me on. Smiling helplessly, I took the mic and queued up Someone Like Me. The moment my master-level vocals hit the speakers, the entire room fell dead silent. I wasn't just singing a song, I was pouring out the last 20 years of my life. Even after the music stopped, everyone was still spellbound. Just as the crowd erupted into wild applause, Ji Yu Chen suddenly jumped to his feet. Unable to stomach me stealing the spotlight, he actually let out a cold sneer right in front of everyone. You really did make a fool of yourself, Lu Yu. Then, he shouted, enunciating every single word, if you're so good, why don't you turn off the backing track and sing it a cappella? That single sentence sent the whole room into an uproar. Was I really just lip-syncing? Wen Jizi couldn't stand it anymore and stepped right up to confront Ji Yu Chen. And what if he wasn't lip-syncing? Then what? The other classmates also started chiming in, accusing him of deliberately picking a fight. Seeing that Ji Yu Chen was about to blow his top, and not wanting the party to end on a sour note, I calmly spoke up. Actually, I didn't give it my best just now anyway. I'll sing it a cappella for you. And with that, I started to sing. Instantly, everyone was completely blown away. My raw, unaccompanied voice left them all mesmerized. Applause and cheers flooded the room like a tidal wave. Who would have thought I'd sound even better without the music? But right at that moment, the door to our private room was violently kicked open. A man in a suit barged in furiously, dragging a completely beaten and bruised Xiao Jingyan behind him. I quietly slipped my phone out and dialed Song Yang. It looked like Mr. Xiao was here looking for trouble. Ji Chen stood there grinning, waiting for a good show, fully expecting me to beg for mercy. But to everyone's shock, Xiao Xian suddenly grabbed his thumb, and with a loud thud, dropped straight to his knees right in front of me. He forcefully shoved Xiao Jingyan's head down. Mr. Liu, this worthless son of mine was completely out of line and offended you. I beg you, please be merciful and spare the Xiao group. The entire class was absolutely dumbfounded. The CEO of Shanghai's biggest automotive empire was actually forcing his son to grovel at my feet. I narrowed my eyes, having already passed this mess off to Sang Biao to handle. But Xiao Xian, trembling violently, dropped an absolute bombshell. Mr. Liu, you're brother Biao's boss, aren't you? With just one word from you, the entire Xiao group is yours. The whole room collectively gasped in shock. The fate of the multi-billion-dollar Xiao group rested on a single word from me. But I just let out a dismissive smirk. You think the Xiao group is a big deal? If I wanted to, I could have Sang Biao crush it tomorrow. I could easily just prop another one up. Xiao Xian was left completely speechless by my words. Seeing that begging wouldn't work, a sudden flash of ruthless malice crossed his eyes. He actually sprang up from the floor, raising his fist and charging right at me. Listen here, you little punk. Back when I, Xiao Xian, was taking on 100 men alone. You were still playing in the mud somewhere. His face twisted in pure rage. The force of his punch was already in my face. Oh man, I was too careless, I thought to myself. Wen Jiji let out a terrified scream. Liu Yu, get out of the way. But it was too late. Xiao Xian's fist was as fast as lightning. There was absolutely no time to dodge. Right at that do or die moment, system's notification chimes suddenly rang in my head. Detected Xiao Xian bragging to the host. Now rewarding the host with the realm of a martial arts grandmaster. In an instant, an endless stream of martial arts knowledge and sheer power surged into my body. Looking back at Xiao Xian, he was suddenly full of wide open openings. With absolute calm, I casually raised my hand and slapped him right across the face. The very next second, this so-called big boss who could fight 100 men was actually sent flying by my slap, crashing hard into the wall, knocked completely unconscious. The entire room fell dead silent. Xiao Xian had just been completely wrecked by a single slap from Liu Yu. Right after that, Song Yang rushed in with the security team. Seeing Xiao Xian and his son lying out cold on the floor, this all-powerful manager Song actually did the unthinkable in front of all my classmates. He bowed 90 degrees to me, begging for forgiveness. Boss, I completely failed my duty. I calmly docked 3 months of his salary as punishment, then instructed him, get a few cars ready for me. My classmates went to go check out the apartments at Thompson Riviera. My classmates finally snapped out of their shock, and the atmosphere in the room instantly exploded all over again. At 9:30 that night, over a dozen top-tier luxury cars pulled up to the entrance of Thompson Riviera. The sales manager, Shen Rui, had been waiting there for us. He was incredibly respectful toward me, but watching this, Ji Chen started feeling that something was seriously off. It suddenly hit him. This manager was definitely an actor Liu Yu had hired. Convinced that he had seen through the whole act, Ji Chen was grinning so hard his mouth almost reached his ears. He was just waiting to expose me in public, and then ruthlessly trample all over me. Soon enough, Shen Rui led us right up to the front of Building A. He respectfully presented it, saying, Mr. Liu, we have arrived. This right here is your property. Ji Chen totally lost it right then and there. Pointing at the massive 44-story skyscraper, he demanded, Manager Chen, is it? There are so many apartments in Building A. Which one exactly belongs to Liu Yu? He arrogantly thought he had finally caught me in a lie, just waiting to see me make a total fool of myself. But to his surprise, Chen threw a quick glance at me. Seeing me with a face that just said I was enjoying the show, he instantly caught on. He slowly turned to Ji Chen, and dropped a single sentence that completely petrified everyone on the spot. Sir, what I mean is the entire Building A is completely owned by Mr. Liu. What? The whole building belongs to Liu Yu? Su Wan and the rest of them literally dropped their jaws in shock. Thompson Riviera goes for 350,000 a square meter. An entire building would be worth billions. Someone's knees actually gave out on the spot. My classmate bought an entire building? He said his place wasn't that big, but he never said it wasn't tall. In a flash, the entire class lost their minds. They didn't really understand who Sang Biao was, or how big of a deal Manager Song was. But this entire skyscraper showed them the true meaning of insane, filthy wealth. Ji Chen, however, let out a furious roar, his face completely twisted in rage. Impossible, even I couldn't buy one, so how the hell could he buy a whole building? You guys are all in on this together. His relentless questioning completely infuriated Shen Rui. Shen Rui let out a cold sneer, Sir, if you don't believe us, you should at least believe the property deeds, right? Saying that, he went straight to open the trunk. He dragged out a massive box from inside. Right after, in front of absolutely everyone, he stacked up dozens of property deeds, one by one, until they were half a person high. Ji Chen, trembling, picked one up. Liu Yu's name was printed bold and clear right there on it. He randomly flipped open another one. The official seals, and that name slapped him right in the face. His mind just completely snapped. Who the hell buys property a whole freaking building at a time? The classmates stared at the floor covered in deeds. Their jaws dropped so low you could stuff an egg in their mouths. Billions, who could possibly fake that? Ji Chen, what exactly were you trying to pull? With Shen Zi taking the lead, Ji Chen was publicly cursed out right to his face, turning completely livid. By now, all the classmates had crowded around. Liu Yu, hurry up and take us inside for a tour. I immediately signaled Shen Rui to open the doors. The moment we stepped inside, everyone was absolutely blown away by the interior luxury. High-end, elegant, exquisitely crafted, and breathtaking. Isn't this the absolute dream home? Su Wan was the first to snap out of it, frantically taking photos to post on her social media. The rest of them woke up from their daze too and yanked out their phones. In less than 30 minutes, their feeds were completely flooded. Shares broke past 1,000 and were still multiplying like crazy. The whole internet knew that Building A of Thompson Riviera had been bought out entirely by some mysterious tycoon. And the best part was, as the post spread, relatives, friends, and even clients that these classmates hadn't talked to in ages suddenly reached out, begging to collaborate. And all of this happened just because I was the owner of this building. Seeing that my classmates still hadn't had enough, I went ahead and had Song Yang organize a luxury motorcade. I booked them all presidential suites right at the Grand Hyatt. However, just as everyone was about to leave, Su Wan suddenly spoke up, asking the one question that was on absolutely everyone's mind. Liu Yu, are these apartments of yours for sale? Ever since they blew up social media, countless people had been trying to buy an apartment from me. Some even offered double the astronomical market price. Everyone was waiting to see exactly what I was going to do with this massive building. But I didn't even have to think about it. Not for sale. I don't need the money. The moment those words dropped, the guys in the room absolutely lost their minds. A building worth billions, and he just casually refuses to sell. Bam, he's just playing around. I really don't understand the world of the ultra-rich anymore. Who would have thought I'd reject hundreds of millions in profit without even blinking an eye? Right at that moment, Shen Zi suddenly threw a sarcastic, sideways glance at Ji Chen. Hey, young master Ji, these apartments are only like 20 million a pop. For a guy like you, that's just pocket change, right? Ji Chen just stood there, completely dumbfounded, being suddenly called out by Shen Zi. Ji Chen's brain buzzed, and he completely short-circuited. Wait, what the hell was going on? Make him buy an apartment in Thompson Riviera? He had actually looked into their floor plans before. They were flawless, no doubt about that. But the problem was, those damn things were ridiculously expensive. Any random 100 square meter unit started at over 30 million. If he actually had that kind of cash, wouldn't it be way better to just buy a massive, multi-million-dollar villa? I'll hold off on that for now. I just bought a villa over at Dongjiao No. 1. I don't have a lot of liquid cash on hand right now. Ji Chen squeezed out a painfully awkward smile. The system's notification chimed in Liu Yu's head, and he couldn't help but raise an eyebrow. He looked at Ji Chen with a hint of surprise, his eyes brimming with amusement. Detected Ji Chen bragging to the host. Rewarding one Villa No. 9 at Dongjiao 1. It was actually Villa No. 9 at Dongjiao 1. That was a top-tier luxury mansion in Shanghai, covering over 1,000 square meters, and valued at a cool 1 billion. As soon as Ji Chen's words dropped, the whole crowd went wild. Gasps of amazement echoed among the classmates. A villa at Dongjiao 1? That's gotta be at least 100 million to start, right? Way more than 100 million. Dongjiao 1 is on a completely different level compared to those ordinary little villas. Oh, there is absolutely no comparison. And which one is the most incredible one there? Villa No. 9. They say it's worth 1 billion, and it hasn't even been sold yet. Man, Ji Chen is amazing. If only I could see a Dongjiao 1 villa with my own eyes. After Su Wan's explanation, everyone finally grasped just how absurdly rich Dongjiao 1 really was. Compared to that, a Thompson Riviera apartment worth tens of millions definitely falls way short in price. But at the end of the day, there's just no comparing the two. After all, one's an apartment and the other's a villa. They cater to different crowds, so naturally, the prices are worlds apart. Ji Chen became the center of attention once again, and that little bit of frustration he felt earlier was finally smoothed over. Oh, stop being so modest. Just earlier, Liu Yu said his place wasn't that big either. And it turned out to be an entire residential building. So, Ji Chen, which villa did you buy? When are you going to take us to broaden our horizons? The moment Su Wan heard Ji Chen acting all humble, she wouldn't let it go. She didn't buy his, it's just alright, excuse for a second. More importantly, Su Wan wanted to use this chance to visit Dongjiao 1 and see it for herself. She was secretly hoping that in a top-tier neighborhood like that, she might just hook herself a filthy rich bachelor. And it wasn't just Su Wan. The other classmates also totally called bluff on the rich guy's standard. It's okay. It's not that big, routine. Yeah, exactly. You rich people are way too modest. I wanna go see it too. I have to take some pictures for my feed. I want to experience eating steak inside a top-tier mansion. Listening to his classmates chattering excitedly, Ji Chen almost coughed up blood. He was just casually bragging to save face and brush it off. Why the hell were they interrogating him about the details? Ji Chen's brain spun a mile a minute. He could only bite the bullet and stall. Once it's fully furnished, I'll definitely invite everyone over for a get-together. Watching Ji Chen vaguely stumbling his way through the crowd's questions, Liu Yu finally couldn't hold it in. Peeved, he burst out laughing. Liu Yu, what's so funny? Cheng Hao leaned over and asked with a curious look on his face. Ji Chen's heart skipped a beat, cold sweat dripping down his back. He was terrified Liu Yu was going to expose his lie right then and there. Oh, nothing. It's getting late. We should all get some rest soon. Not long after, the Grand Hyatt International Hotel dispatched over $12 million luxury cars to pick up the group. Cheng Hao and the others excitedly piled into the luxury rides, soaking up the VIP treatment at the Grand Hyatt. Once the staff escorted them into the VIP suites, they completely let loose. The Grand Hyatt was a 5-star hotel, after all. The minimum spend for just one VIP suite started at $100,000. In other words, just to make sure his classmates had a blast today. Liu Yu dropped a few million at the very least. So, aside from Liu Yu, Wen Jiji, Ji Chen, and everyone else were just blowing up their social media feeds. That very night, over a dozen classmates couldn't stop posting about Thompson Riviera and the Grand Hyatt Hotel. They literally flooded everyone's timelines. Everyone who saw it completely lost their minds. They were all hitting up Liu Yu's classmates, dying to know who this insanely rich guy actually was. Please introduce us. I really want to meet him. Liu Yu slept like a log until 10 o'clock the next morning. After waking up and getting freshened up, he took his Koenigsegg 1-to-1 out for a spin and decided to grab some breakfast along the way. Just as he was holding his soy milk and fried dough sticks, about to get into his car, a conversation between two people caught his attention. Quick, let's go check it out. There's a Korean martial arts expert setting up a fighting ring just up ahead. He's throwing down with our local Shanghai masters right now. This is getting wild. Let's go. We gotta see this. Liu Yu raised an eyebrow, deciding to tag along just for the entertainment. Not far away, on a massive martial arts arena, two men were locked in a fierce duel. The area around the stage was completely packed, swarming with people who had come to watch the drama unfold. High up above the ring hung a large banner that read, Korean fighter Kim Chung-won's martial arts arena. All challengers welcome. Kim's somewhat handsome face, combined with his rippling muscles, was actually drawing excited screams from quite a few fangirls in the crowd. His opponent was a square-faced, middle-aged man. He moved with agility. His body was already covered in dark bruises. For some reason, even though he was clearly losing, he stubbornly refused to throw in the towel. Tisk, is this the kind of trash Shanghai sends to fight me? Kim sneered, landing a brutal, heavy punch squarely on the older man's face. The impact was so hard, the man spat out a mouthful of bloody saliva right then and there. Kim immediately followed up with a vicious uppercut, slamming right into the man's stomach. I thought you were tough. Fight back, you piece of trash. The middle-aged man seemed to be losing consciousness from the beating. His legs gave out beneath him, and he crashed heavily onto the mat. Uncle Lin, wake up. Uncle Lin, please, just give up if you can't go on. Down by the ring, two young people were frantically yelling up at the battered man. Hearing their cries, Kim let out a cold, mocking smirk. He grabbed the older man by the hair, violently forcing his head up to meet his eyes. Hey, are you gonna yield? Just say the word, and I'll let you crawl out of here. The man glared weakly but defiantly back at Kim, managing to force a contemptuous smile. We people of Shanghai aren't cowards. Yield? In your dreams. Uncle Lin, you bastard. Both on and off the stage, those furious shouts exploded through the crowd. Kim flipped his middle finger straight at Liu Yu, his arrogant taunt instantly setting the entire crowd on fire. But in the very next second, Liu Yu just reached out. And with a sickening crack, brutally snapped that middle finger backward. The agonizing pain made Kim let out a blood-curdling scream. But that was only the beginning. Right after that, Liu Yu clenched his right fist, then delivered a merciless, ringing backhand straight across Kim's face. With a deafening smack, the sheer force sent Kim flying through the air. He hit the ground, knocked out cold on the spot. The entire arena fell into a stunned, dead silence for 3 full seconds. The crowd instantly exploded into an uproar. Wait, that's it? What happened to the 3 minutes we were promised? It didn't even last a single minute. 1 second he was swearing up and down that he'd crush Liu Yu. And the next, he's lying dead still on the floor. Liu Yu flicked some imaginary dust off his clothes. He threw out a casual, dismissing remark. Is that all you've got? And you thought you could challenge the masters of Shanghai? That single sentence was basically dragging the Koreans' pride through the mud. Kim Chung-won's teammates were completely dumbfounded. Just who the hell was this guy? A single slap, and he absolutely crippled their man. Right at that moment, Kim Chung-won's rabid fangirls started screaming furiously from the audience. That was just a dirty sneak attack. There's no way our Oppa would get knocked out by one slap. Lu Yu's fans fired right back. Your pathetic Oppa couldn't even last 10 seconds. He doesn't even deserve 1 minute of our idol's time. The crowd was right on the edge of a massive brawl. Lu Yu furrowed his brow, his cold gaze sweeping across the entire arena. If anyone wants to fight, come up here and fight. It'd be a waste of a perfectly good ring. That single sentence shut absolutely everyone up in an instant. Were they joking? Even Kim Chung-won got one-shotted. Going up there would be pure suicide. Just then, Kim Chung-won's teammate, Park Chung, stormed the ring with his crew. The moment he got up there, he tried to pin the blame on Lu Yu. What kind of skill is a sneak attack? But Lu Yu just sneered, clasping his hands casually behind his back. The strong rule. It's a simple fact that he's pathetically weak. If you've got a problem with that, you can send another one up. This time, I'll let him live 5 seconds longer. If he can even touch the hem of my shirt within 15 seconds. I'll admit defeat. Such unbelievable arrogance. Park Chang's crew was so furious they almost mobbed him. They immediately pushed forward their strongest fighter, Park Chung, to take the challenge. Park Chung stepped up to the center, his face completely full of provocation. I, Park Chung, do not fight nobodies. State your name. But Lu Yu just looked incredibly annoyed. Lu Yu, cut the crap. This will only take 15 seconds anyway. The match began. Park Chung instantly unleashed a furious flurry of punches, but Lu Yu dodged them like he was taking a leisurely stroll in the park. 3 exchanges later, Park Chung really hadn't even grazed a single thread of Lu Yu's clothes. Suddenly, someone in the crowd shouted at the top of their lungs. God Lu, 15 seconds are up. The moment those words dropped, Lu Yu's movements abruptly shifted. With brutal efficiency, he raised a hand and delivered another resounding slap. The very next second, Park Chang's body was violently launched into the air. He slammed heavily onto the ground, watching Park Chung get slapped away in the exact same humiliating fashion. The entire arena went dead silent. This time, everyone saw it crystal clear. From start to finish, Lu Yu really only used a single slap. And right at that moment, the crowd erupted into thunderous applause and deafening screams. That's our badass God Lu. All action, no talk. That's my God Lu. One slap to teach you some manners. Park Chi stared in horror at Park Chung, who had just been slapped out of the ring yet again. Everyone was absolutely stunned. That was literally the strongest guy they had. Yet, Lu Yu just flatly dropped a single line, you lose. But who could have guessed? Park Chi actually had the nerve to argue back. We didn't lose. It's best 2 out of 3. We've only lost round 1. The moment those words left his mouth, the entire crowd instantly burst into jeers. Do you Koreans have zero shame? So that slap on Kim Chung-won just doesn't count now? Man, I have truly seen it all. Other people act shameless for money, but you guys are acting shameless just to beg God Lu to slap you in the face. Park Chi was so furious he nearly coughed up blood. It's not like they wanted to get slapped either. Right at that moment, a complicated look flashed through Lu Yu's eyes. Why don't you guys just come at me together? He sighed. Slapping faces is hard work, after all. Save me the trouble of going one by one. The second he said that, the audience completely lost their minds laughing. I thought God Lu was just the cool, silent type. I didn't know he was the king of roasting too. Making slapping someone's face sound so elegant. God Lu is an absolute legend. Park Chi's face turned completely green with rage. He let out a furious roar. Kim Song, all of you, attack him with me. In a flash, over a dozen men swarmed the arena. They completely surrounded Lu Yu. The crowd instantly whipped out their phones, ready to record this epic moment. Lu Yu casually swept his gaze over them, and spoke in a chillingly calm voice. So, everyone's here, then let's get started. Barely had his words faded, when the dozen men charged at him without a second thought. Lu Yu narrowed his eyes, and whipped out a brutal backhand. Bang! Park Chi was instantly blasted to the ground, foaming at the mouth. Completely out cold. Smack. Another sharp, ringing slap. Kim Song's eyes rolled back into his head, as he collapsed to the floor, twitching. Right after that, smack, smack, smack. 3 more figures hit the deck. Body after body crumpled onto the arena floor, dropping in sync with Lu Yu's effortless strikes. In less than 10 seconds, the massive arena was littered with unconscious bodies. Standing dead center, Lu Yu stood perfectly composed, his clothes barely rustled. Now that is the true swagger of a Shanghai master. But a split second later, his brow furrowed. He spoke up, sounding genuinely annoyed. Are there any Koreans left who haven't gotten slapped? Since nobody's tearing down this arena of yours, doesn't that mean I did all this swinging for nothing? The moment he said that, his fans in the crowd almost died of laughter right on the spot. He literally just beat everyone. And God Lu's main concern was tearing down the ring. The Koreans were probably ready to cough up 3 liters of blood. The chubby guy running the arena stared at the scattered bodies on the floor, then glanced over at Lu Yu's annoyed face. His legs turned to absolute jelly. He was terrified he'd be called into the ring, and rewarded with a slap of his own. Shaking like a leaf, the chubby guy frantically promised, God, Lu. As soon as we ship these guys off to the hospital, I'll tear down the arena immediately. But Lu Yu merely shot him a bone-chilling glare. Make sure you tell your little buddies stay out of Shanghai unless you've got a damn good reason. There's plenty of people around here who can dish out a good slap. That said, under everyone's completely shocked gazes, Lu Yu hopped into his sports car, slammed on the gas, and sped off, leaving them in the dust. As soon as Lu Yu left, the video of his showdown with the Korean guy completely blew up online. In just half an hour, the video shot straight into the top 10 trending searches. That scene where the Korean guy is literally begging Lord Lu to slap him is just pure gold. I'm dying. Seeing that chubby dude shivering like a leaf made me spit out my food. Right at that moment, one specific comment blew up. Am I the only one who noticed that Lord Lu is driving a Koenigsegg 1-to-1? A second later, a car guru dropped some facts. It's normal that the guy above doesn't know. That car costs a whopping 120 million. You can't even buy it just because you have the cash. Without some serious background, you have zero chance of getting your hands on one. Lord Lu is actually an insanely wealthy tycoon. The internet absolutely lost its mind. Lu Yu, however, was completely clueless about all of this. After dealing with that guy, he casually scrolled through his feed and saw a post from his high school classmate, Su Ting, looking for investors. Lu Yu remembered the 3.3 billion in Bitcoin he had sitting around, so he just went right ahead and asked Su Ting for her address, figuring he'd toss a little spare cash her way as an investment.